Ag Bioscience, the #1 ag tech podcast globally, is now available on video. Hear from leaders and innovators across food, animal health, plant science, ag tech, and agriculture. Mondays at 6 a.m. on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. While you're there, subscribe and leave us a review. It's the Ag Bioscience Podcast with Agronovis Indiana. Get more information at agronovisindiana.com.
The internet changed how we work. AI is changing what work gets done. A bank cut loan processing from days to hours. A student built an AI scheduler, improving on-time delivery from under 70% to over 90%. Most teams know AI matters, but aren't sure where to start. InAI is Indiana's statewide AI adoption effort, built with industry, academia, and community partners, helping you move from understanding to action. Visit inaiready.com.
Slate Auto in Warsaw, once again putting Indiana in the driver's seat as a leader in automotive manufacturing. We look at what else is in the pipeline. Plus, how the state is becoming a Midwest epicenter for road trippers and commuters. The latest on the nationally renowned travel chains making multi-million-dollar investments in Indiana. Also, an IU student entrepreneur making a splash in the health-conscious cocktail world. And
well, big wheels roll through fields where sunlight streams.
The boss setting the tone for the new Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago. A South Bend company's big role in the project and the potential impact it could all have on Northwest Indiana. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and the Indiana Association of Realtors.
I think it's amazing, and it's great that as an American company, you haven't given up and just imported something from overseas. You're actually doing it here.
What's really revolutionary is that it's very important for us to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., as you said. So being manufactured in Warsaw, Indiana, what's unique is every single truck comes off of the assembly line identically.
All right.
So what that does is it allows the ability to scale manufacturing in a much more efficient and effective way so that we can keep the cost of the vehicle down.
Jay Leno, one of the many world-famous names supporting Slate Auto, which could help drive the next era of Indiana auto manufacturing forward. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Slate Auto's focus, putting EVs on the road that are simple and affordable. Eventually, some 2,000 workers could crank out Slate's new state-of-the-art EV truck at its plant in Kosciuszko County.
This is where we had our big presses that, we mounted the rolls of paper onto.
From a once vibrant catalog printing plant in Warsaw to one of the most closely watched electric vehicle startups in America, Slate Auto has attracted the attention of investors, including Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, and even Jay Leno's garage, which featured the low-cost EV truck and its unique business model earlier this year. The Slate EV truck is a low-cost, customizable electric pickup designed to make EV ownership more affordable. A two-seat American-made truck that features a simple, no-frills design and can be transformed with accessories, including into an SUV, allowing buyers to add features over time rather than paying for them up front.
We are beyond excited that out of all of the potential sites across the country that Slate could have chosen, that they chose Warsaw. And then just for them to take a facility that for generations had provided good jobs and a great history and a great anchor in our community, for them to repurpose that building with, new modern manufacturing is pretty exciting for us.
For Warsaw and Indiana, the story goes much deeper than electric vehicles. The potential for more than 2,000 jobs at the plant and an economic impact projected at nearly $40 billion over the next 20 years.
This project demonstrates that Kosciuszko County can compete and win on a national stage. Companies have choices, and Slate chose Warsaw for many reasons, but I think mostly because our workforce our manufacturing culture and our ability to get things done.
And this week, a major milestone with the release of the price tag for Slate's EV truck at just under $25,000, a number the company says has generated more than 180,000 pre-orders. So can a no-frills, affordable electric pickup truck succeed where other EV startups have failed? That's the question surrounding Slate Auto, and implications for Warsaw, northern Indiana, and the state of Indiana certainly are significant. And joining me now for some perspective is Conexus Indiana President and CEO Jay Wirts. Jay, great to see you.
Great. Thanks for having me, Gary.
Yeah, the Conexus Indiana supports the state's manufacturing sector and also the important logistics sector as well. As you look at this, and I mentioned 180,000 reservations, pre-orders are now open for this new truck. What does this signify for in your view, for the Indiana manufacturing sector?
Yeah, I think a couple of things, and really, really helpful, significant, important things. I mean, there's the statistics, the nuts and bolts. 400 million in investment in the facility, 2,000 jobs, billions in economic development over the coming years. So really, really positive stuff. I think also really interesting in what it signifies, the plant that they're modernizing currently is an old publishing plant. They made catalogs and they made magazines and things like that, things that are, largely obsolete, old economy. So this shows the flexibility and adaptability of Indiana's manufacturing center, where they're going to take that facility and it's going to make some of the most modern new economy products in the world. So I just think it says great things about Indiana's.
Does this underscore, too, the work at Conexus and others are doing around workforce in Indiana? This, as you mentioned, 2,000 jobs potentially, a lot of robotics,
right.
The educated workforce, the trained workforce, and what's happening in the state in that regard.
For sure, Gary. One of the things we're working on there is we have a group called an Industry Talent Association. So this is a subgroup within our Conexus membership. They focus strictly on workforce issues. So they do things like they develop a curriculum, for example, on robotics. And they say, we as employers, as manufacturers, think it's really important that you teach A, B, and C with regard to robotics. So that way, what's taught in schools, again, both secondary and post-secondary, reflects what manufacturers and employers need for graduates coming out. So it really helps that workforce. The state, the Department of Education, Secretary General have been very, very helpful and supportive in that, and formally getting employer input, manufacturer input into those things. But that helps do things like create those employees to fill those 2,000 jobs.
What are you hearing in terms of, from around the state of Indiana, the state of the manufacturing sector? I know you've got a new Presidents and CEO network where you really do interact with leadership around the state. What are the big issues?
A couple of things they talk about, and again, thanks for bringing that up, because it's a great example of what's on the minds of the people who are driving the economy, driving manufacturing. I'd say there's two main things currently, be AI and workforce, and saying a lot of really interesting and creative things about it. They talk about the issues, but then they talk about their solutions to those problems, those challenges, and their ideas. And it's things like how to set up your organization to support AI. It's obviously ideas about AI, and it's about setting up the future. And they're doing a lot of really creative projects. Interesting things like, don't try to do everything in your system with AI. It's a mistake. Pick a problem, focus on a problem, get a small group together to focus on a problem, bring ideas to address it, things like that. Workforce, similar things. How do we get the right material into the curriculum so that people are prepared for robotics or whatever it is? So things like that.
Very important sector of the Indiana economy. Jay Wirts, great to see you. We'll have more on this conversation, I know, with Slate Auto and the rest of the industry going forward. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Gary, very much.
All right. Well, still ahead for you, Greenwood getting in a groove. Big business developments in the works there, including the popular travel center chain Buc-ee's, looking at bringing its famous oak smoked brisket and brand to Johnson County. We'll have that and more investment going down in Greenwood when we come back. Northwest Indiana is essential to elevating Indiana's future. Explore how IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the state of Indiana are bringing a bold vision for regional growth at Innovate Northwest Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Join Governor Mike Braun and business and community leaders for a candid conversation on growth, workforce development, and innovation. We'll be at the Valparaiso University Harry Union Ballroom July 8. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar. Because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
Richards, get in the game. We're getting pickled here. And they're crushing our loan business, too.
But this Lake City Bank team seems nice. They offer small business loans from your phone.
We have that, too.
You can even speak to a real live banker.
You guys good?
No one needs to talk to a person anymore.
I like people.
Nice game. Come by the branch anytime.
They have branches?
Friendly business loans. Apply online with SwiftLend or visit real human bankers at your local branch.
Well, we've got our eye on lots of business news stories developing just south of Indianapolis in Greenwood this week, starting with Endress+Hauser, a global industrial technology company that specializes in measurement and automation products. After several years of construction, the company is opening a more than $50 million campus expansion at its headquarters there. The project included longtime partner George E. Booth Company relocating its headquarters from Indianapolis to that facility, a move that has already led to new jobs being created. Endress+Hauser also unveiling a larger design and innovation studio focused on introducing thousands of students to STEM.
But everybody needs talent. 80% of our positions we want to fill from within. As opposed to hiring from outside. So this is I would say the lifeblood of who we are as a company starts in places like this.
Endress+Hauser CEO also tells us there are plans in the works for another new building on campus. Another major investment in the works in Johnson County. Popular travel center chain Buc-ee's looking to build its first Indiana store in Greenwood.
Buc-ee's is known for transforming travel experiences, for creating destinations people go out of their way to visit.
They certainly do. Brisket, one of the more popular items on Buc-ee's menu. The Greenwood Plan Commission and City Council are considering a plan to rezone a massive site just off I-65 at the Wirtsville Road exit. That rezoning decision is expected next month. The Buc-ee's project would include 120 fueling stations and a walking trail that connects to Greenwood's trail system. Another popular stop for road trippers and commuters, Wally's, getting ready to open its first Indiana location in the week ahead in Whitestown. The $30 million travel center will feature some 84 gas pumps, 20 electric charging stations, and a food court. It's expected to employ as many as 200 workers and will be Wally's largest travel center to date. Well, Hammond's still in the mix to become home to the Chicago Bears, but still nothing official. This week, 2 Chicago communities made a pitch to build a new stadium for the Bears there. One proposal would keep the Bears in Chicago, moving them to the city's southeast side at the former U.S. Steel Southworks property. The other proposal puts the Bears in McCook, a Chicago suburb on the city's southwest side. Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott juggling the possible Bears relocation to his city and whether or not a $7 billion data center will be built there. The city council in Hammond approving plans a year ago for Chicago-based Decennial Group to develop the project. But Mayor McDermott said on his weekly podcast last week, the deal is a bit shaky.
I think our data center is going to fall apart before the end of the month.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm probably.
And you were one of the first, right?
No, well, we have a proposal hanging right now.
Okay.
Hanging by a thread, and they're supposed to be done by June 30th, and I have no confidence it's going to be done.
The main stumbling block surrounding the project centers around a lease agreement and the utility that would provide power to the facility. You can read a lot more about this story at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Amazon has invested billions of dollars in facilities throughout the state of Indiana to help fulfill orders and also train delivery drivers. In Greenfield, the Integrated Last Mile Delivery Academy includes a simulated neighborhood, giving drivers the chance to practice scenarios they might encounter before hitting the road. Virtual reality is also utilized as part of that process. This week's Prime Day event is the company's busiest delivery period of the year. Well, still ahead, IU innovation that takes the edge off after knocking down a few. Crafted for nights you'll remember and mornings you can own. The 9 a.m. Club's mantra. How these IU entrepreneurs are hitting it big with their vodka cocktail product.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
Listings grew by 5% year over year, continuing to outpace sales. Pendings jumped by 30% from February to March and were up 1% year over year. Sales were similar, up 27% from February and 1% from last year. Inventory is tightening, but growing year over year. However, inventory growth has slowed. We've been at 13% year over year growth for the past 4 months, while growth ranged from 15 to 30% in the 2 years before that. Prices are up 4% year over year, $10,000 higher than last March. Days on market fell significantly, and immediate sales are more common. Price drops are falling, but higher than last year.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
fast.
businesses need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. Well, it is billed as the Super Bowl of biotech. And this week, the Bio Conference in San Diego served as the national launch pad for BioHeartland, Indiana's new life sciences and bioscience brand. For the first time in 6 years, Indiana had a major presence at Bio. Lilly, Elanco, Purdue, IU Lab, among more than 20,000 attendees at the global event. But for the first time, the Hoosier contingent arrived with a cohesive brand and message. Industry leaders want to leverage BioHeartland and billions of dollars in recent life sciences investment to elevate Indiana in the conversation among bioscience hubs like Boston, San Diego, and Research Triangle.
What BioHeartland helps represent is that Indiana is a absolute powerhouse in the biosciences. We're number one in the life sciences exports in the whole country. We beat California last year, and a lot of people don't know that. It's not surprising because we're known for manufacturing. What a lot of people are surprised by is when we did the deep dive research, we found we were 3 times the national average in patent activity. So if there's one message for BioHeartland, it's that we not only make things here, which we're great at, we actually invent them and we move them with our great airport and our logistics expertise, and the whole value chain right here in BioHeartland in Indiana is real.
Kennedy and others believe marketing the state's significant assets in human and animal health and plant science under this unified BioHeartland brand will make it easier to attract investors, researchers, and global attention. Well, more health news making business headlines around Indiana this week, including IU student innovation designed to wet the whistle and take the edge off. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta here with that story. I'm anxious for this one.
That's right, Gary. You know, it was less than a year ago that we first told you about 9 a.m. Club, a new health-conscious cocktail launched by IU students. What started in just 20 stores last summer is now on shelves in more than 115. And the young entrepreneurs are cracking open another sweet surprise this summer.
2 little 500 cyclists wanted a better adult beverage that wouldn't sideline their training the next morning.
Everything in this drink is built and crafted for that better tomorrow. And that's just why we built it. And that's why people are enjoying it.
The IU alums, one a Kelly finance grad, the other headed to med school, say it's a better-for-you beverage with electrolytes, no added sugar or carbonation, gluten-free, and real fruit juice with micro-ingredients that help mitigate hangovers.
It's finally canning day here at Sun King's Brewery. Let's go.
Plus a light version that cuts the calories and alcohol. The local cocktail is catching on fast, growing from 20 stores in Bloomington and Indy now to 110, covering the entire state.
Those have been very selective stores where we think we can have a good customer base. We can have good reorders, velocity, and keep it moving. So yeah, it's all about growing within your size.
9 a.m. Club is taking its next big leap this summer, growing from its one original lime flavor to adding 3 more, blood orange, cranberry, and strawberry.
That's going to open the doors to so many new consumers, a whole new demographics.
Set to drop late July, the new flavors will come in an 8-pack carton, and that's big in the beverage world.
Get some case displays, they're easier to stack, so we can get like end caps now. We can walk in, you see 30 stacked, or 38 packs of it just stacked to the sky.
He says the new flavor carton opens the door to compete with the big players in the ready-to-drink or RTD space.
I think that it's going to be monumental for the growth of the company. It is the hero SKU in RTDs. 8-pack is what people buy. I think it's going to get us from, okay, we're out here hustling as a new beverage startup, as a early RTD brand, to, okay, we're causing a disruption in the market, something different. It's that next step.
9 a.m. focuses on events and cans in hands. They hope to create some business fireworks at a 4th of July lake party in northern Indiana and keep riding the wave of epic IU tailgates this fall.
We're going against companies with millions of dollars in marketing, and we're a bootstrap company that's just scrappy, and we're fighting. And the best we can do is organic growth, grassroots foundation, and it overtakes that way versus pumping dollars into things that might not have a good ROI.
A toast to growth this second summer in business.
The 8-pack carton will be hitting store shelves around July 25th. You can find 9 a.m. Club in chains like Total Wine and Big Red Liquors.
Great story. And this is truly an Indiana cocktail start to finish, right?
Absolutely. They source their vodka also from Indiana, and you saw a brief clip in the story. They're working really closely with Sun King. Sun King really helped them dial in these new flavors for the summer. They co-pack and can there, and has just really helped show them the ins and outs of the business. So that's been a good partnership for them, too.
More innovation in Indiana.
That's right.
Thanks, Kylie.
Yep.
Well, when we come back, checking in on the numbers at Hard Rock, Northern Indiana. And just across the border from Hard Rock, the Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago. Will it generate tourism dollars in Northwest Indiana? We'll take a look. Northwest Indiana is essential to elevating Indiana's future. Explore how IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the state of Indiana are bringing a bold vision for regional growth at Innovate Northwest Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Join Governor Mike Braun and business and community leaders for a candid conversation on growth, workforce development, and innovation. We'll be at the Valparaiso University Harry Union Ballroom July 8. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
faster
businesses
among
need help. Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
Listings grew by 5% year over year, continuing to outpace sales. Pendings jumped by 30% from February to March and were up 1% year over year. Sales were similar, up 27% from February and 1% from last year. Inventory is tightening, but growing year over year. However, inventory growth has slowed. We've been at 13% year over year growth for the past 4 months, while growth ranged from 15 to 30% in the 2 years before that. Prices are up 4% year over year, $10,000 higher than last March. Days on market fell significantly, and immediate sales are more common. Price drops are falling, but higher than last year.
Well, last week we told you about the Indiana business connection to the letters here on the outside of the newly opened Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago. This week we dig a little deeper into that and why the center could produce a tourism boost for Northwest Indiana.
You are America, unconstrained by habit and convention.
Part of Barack Obama's 2015 You Are America speech stands on top of his new presidential center in Chicago. South Bend-based Invil Facade has spent the last 5 years on the project, taking 458 individual letters and creating panels that weigh between 8 and 20,000 pounds.
We would put all the letter configurations on this frame in the plant to make the panel and then join them all together, dam off the ends, cast it, and then demold the product and then tear the whole thing apart and then redo it for the next panel.
It's the company's largest project to date. Around 15 people worked on the project in South Bend, including some workers who temporarily moved to the city from Chicago. The installation took 2 months.
It's kind of a forest for the trees type of thing. Now that we have some distance, you can sit back and really start to take it in and appreciate having done something that momentous.
The center is located just 20 minutes from the Indiana border.
The impact from the Chicago market is just raising awareness of Indiana talent and Indiana business. At IDDC, we're constantly working to draw visitors across the state line, and moments like that just really help amplify our message.
Invil says the project is already attracting potential business.
We're starting to get some inquiries already from people that have seen this and have ideas of their own, architects and designers who now know what we're capable of, and maybe it's inspired them to use this particular type of product in a way that they hadn't thought of before.
We the people, we shall overcome. Yes, we can.
Another big attraction in the Chicagoland region is just about a half hour away from the Obama Presidential Center in Gary, Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana. It opened 5 years ago during the pandemic and quickly hit the jackpot, becoming Indiana's casino revenue generating leader, raking in more than $36 million in revenue in April. It's not just about rolling dice and playing the slots, though. Hard Rock President Matt Schubert says creating an entertainment destination has been a key to success.
Really focused on being diverse in the entertainment that we have brought to Hard Rock, Northern Indiana. Music just brings people together and just brings a level of excitement and joy that is hard to create outside of being in a concert. And it's a great piece of our business that allows us to continue to bring new people to our venue.
And more growth in the works at Hard Rock, the new $135 million Lake County Convention Center to be built next to the facility connected there. Construction will start on that next year. That's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. We leave you this week in Westfield, where, believe it or not, the Colts will kick off training camp in just about a month. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Gary Dick. Go out and make it a successful week.
We are bringing the power of this to this with a new IBJ Media app. For the first time ever, you'll be able to get the Indiana Lawyer, Inside Indiana Business and the Indianapolis Business Journal all in one place wherever you go. All across the state of Indiana, IBJ Media provides the news you need to know, and we're doing it now directly to your phone. To be a part of this, you can find it on your favorite app store. Just search IBJ Media.
Richards, get in the game. We're getting pickled here, and they're crushing our loan business too.
But this Lake City Bank team seems nice. They offer small business loans from your phone.
We have that too.
You can even speak to a real live banker.
You guys good? No one needs to talk to a person anymore.
I like people.
Nice game. Come by the branch anytime.
They have branches?
Friendly business loans. Apply online with SwiftLend or visit real human bankers at your local branch.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader.
Off the Record with Indiana's 250 most influential business and community leaders is a podcast that peels back the curtain on Indiana's most respected leaders, one episode at a time. Go beyond the headlines and hear the stories of grit and innovation that shape these leaders. Do you want to know who's driving our state forward? This is a must listen. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.